The World Health Organization is spreading more fear about another outbreak. Oh yes, run and hide. There's a new virus, a coronavirus, on the loose, according to the WHO. It's called MERS, M-E-R-S. They're calling it a Middle Eastern virus. You ever notice how the WHO always blames some region of the world that they would like to turn into an enemy? You know, it's like a Hong Kong virus. It's a Mexican virus. Now it's a Middle Eastern virus. Why not just call it the Al-Qaeda flu? You know, just get right to the chase. But you notice they never say any viruses ever originate in America. It's not like the USA coronavirus pandemic. They would never announce that. It's always some third world or developing nation group or some political enemy. Yeah, it's a Chinese virus, gonna get you. Pigs from Hong Kong. It's just, it's insane. Sorry, I mean, I'm not trying to turn this into a comedy show, but sometimes the official news is so hilarious that you just got to comment with a little bit of satire. But apparently 3 people have died from a deadly new SARS-like virus, according to the Daily Mail. 3 more people, bringing the total death toll to 27. 27, yeah. Of course, let's see. 60,000 Americans were killed by one drug that the FDA refused to pull off the market. That's more Americans than died in the entire Vietnam War. And they didn't warn you about that, but they will warn you about 27 people dying by a virus that they can blame on Al-Qaeda. Who else? All right, next story. Arsenic is being intentionally added to conventional chicken. It's true. Arsenic, of course, is a toxic metal. You can find it on the table of elements. It is AS. That's the short version of it. If you're curious about that, go back to your science class and check that out. Arsenic. It is a highly toxic, deadly metal. In fact, arsenic was the poison of choice for assassinations throughout world history until about the last, I'd say, 100, 150 years, when arsenic detection became easier to do. It was easy to kill somebody with arsenic because it's tasteless. So you could slip it into their food or their drink, and yeah, pretty soon, the king's dead, and you got a new emperor, a new king, taken over. So arsenic was the poison of choice. Now it's the poison of choice for the chicken industry in the United States. The FDA says, yeah, you can add arsenic to chicken drugs. So these are big pharma's drugs being fed to the chicken to increase chicken yields by the chicken farmers, but the drug contains arsenic. Arsenic is also used, by the way, to treat lumber and make it weatherproof. And if you go buy that lumber, you'll notice that it has a little warning on it, a cancer warning that says, don't breathe the sawdust from this lumber if you saw into it or you're building with it or doing something. Don't even touch it. It's so toxic, but it's safe to put in the chicken, says the FDA. Doesn't that just make you feel good about eating some chicken nuggets from time to time? Yes, indeed. All right, so the FDA always doing the devil's business of destroying health. I love it. What a wonderful group. We should give those people humanitarian awards. They're great. Next story, Hungary, the nation of Hungary, torches 500 hectares of GM corn to eradicate GMOs from the food supply. Yes, Hungary does not tolerate GMOs to be grown in its borders. And so when it found that genetically modified corn was accidentally growing, and what happened, by the way, is that the farmers bought seeds and they weren't told that they were Monsanto seeds. So they planted the seeds, the GMOs were growing, the government figured it out, and they torched 500 hectares. That's a lot of land of GMOs being burned to the ground. You might say, well, why did they need to burn the plants? The answer is that's the only way to destroy the toxic DNA that's in the plant. You see, remember, GMOs are self-replicating pollution, so you got to bring fire. You got to really burn them down to make sure you get the GMO, that you destroy the genes. Otherwise, it could blow downwind and contaminate some other crop some ways away, which is probably what happens all over the place, all over the world with these GMOs. So they burned it down. Now, isn't it interesting that GMOs are banned in 27 countries? GMO labeling is mandated in over 50 countries. You've got countries like Ecuador that have it in their constitution that you can't have GMOs anywhere planted in the country. You've got Hungary that's burning down GMOs. And then you've got America that says, hey, all your children should eat more GMOs. Isn't it lovely? And you've got the Obama administration, which in 2007 promised that we should all have the right to know what we're eating and that GMOs should be labeled. That was an Obama campaign promise in 2007 that he has never made good on. And don't hold your breath, because it's probably not going to happen. All right, now here for just a little bit of satire on this show. We always like to add that in. Facebook has announced that it's banning vowels, because vowels, it turns out, can be used to form words of hate speech. So what better way to control the people than to take the vowels away? So now everybody who posts on Facebook is required to post using only consonants and punctuation. And Coca-Cola, Pfizer, Nissan have all said they strongly support this new policy by Facebook, and they posted their own supportive comment, which reads, speech. That's no vowels allowed. A, E, I, O, and U are the new weapons of truth. So all of you out there, if you have any vowels in your pockets, be careful. The TSA soon is going to be reaching down your pants looking for vowels. not just your genitalia, but your vowels. That's the real danger. That's where you go wrong. It's your speech. No vowels for you, funny boy. Empty your pockets and drop your vowels before you get on the airplane. All right, anyway, that's the news segment. Next, coming up, we have an interview with Andrea Lalama. She's the mom of the autistic children who was censored by Facebook, which is sort of why we did that Facebook satire bit there. And keep an eye out all next week as INFOWARS covers the Bilderberg meeting in Europe. The web address to go to watch that is infowars.com/B, as in Bilderbergers. So infowars.com/B. Alex is there himself, or at least is planning to be there, unless they don't allow him to enter the country. And much of the INFOWARS team, including, of course, Paul Joseph Watson, will be there in person covering this. So it's going to be an exciting week to see what happens. And the rest of the INFOWARS crew will be covering the daily radio show with Alex popping in with special reports from time to time. It's going to be an exciting week. So check it out at infowars.com/B.
Many anthropologists and archaeologists believe that before man even discovered the power to harness and use fire, we were involved in agrarian activities. That is, taking the seeds of plants and then replanting them to produce more. The very foundation of our modern civilization and human culture is centered around the planting and cultivation of edible plants, fruits, vegetables, nuts, you name it. And the globalists have been going after gardening. They've been harassing people that have gardens in their front yards or their backyards. They've called for licenses for people to have gardens because you can't trust prisoners in the police state America to be able to grow their own food. That's why I've come to the realization that we need to become self-sufficient. You need to be informed. You need to have the Second Amendment to protect yourself. You need to be politically active to wake up others. You need to filter your water. But you also need to plant a garden. Even if you live in an apartment, you can do this. If you live in the countryside, obviously you can do it on a grand scale. There are so many green belts and areas that humans don't even visit, nearby cities and in suburbs, where people are now more and more planting their own little private gardens and meadows and off the side of the road. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a revolutionary act to unplug from the television, to unplug from the computer and all the globalist propaganda, and to go out in your backyard or your front yard or planters at your apartment or on the roof of the building where you live, and to plant a garden.
Here are some of the amazing deals at INFOWARS Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com. The Survival Seed Vault by My Patriot Supply features only the finest survival heirloom seeds for a robust and hardy garden, even in the toughest of times. The ARC All-in-One Seed Kit contains 70 varieties of 50,000 seeds of fruits, vegetables, medicinal, and culinary herbs. All ARC seeds are heirloom. Each type is labeled and sealed separately for for ease of use and longevity. The Deluxe Emergency Seed Bank combines 3 of Emergency Seed Bank's top sellers: the Family Survival Emergency Seed Bank, the Medicinal Herb Seeds Pack, and the Culinary Herb Seeds Pack. We also have starter varieties of the Deluxe Seed Packages for fruit, salad, salsa, peppers, and medicinal herbs and more. Go to the InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
A little seed can grow a huge tree that produces fruit for up to 50 years. We have the best life bombs. That's what these are. We have the best weapons against death out there at the lowest prices, waiting for you to lovingly plant them and lovingly grow them and lovingly eat them and share them with others. We will strike back against the New World Order, and this is only one more initiative in our fight against them. So please join us at InfoWarsShop.com, or you can link through at InfoWars.com at the InfoWars Seed Center.